The 2024 Texas UIL State Marching Band Contest field is set. Kind of. We recap this weekend's 4A and 6A area marching band contest results. And we look ahead to the 3A and 5A state marching band contest taking place at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, as General Effect Media presents This Week in Texas Band. Welcome to a special episode of This Weekend in Band, where we recap the 4A and 6A area marching band contest and look ahead to the 1A, 3A, and 5A Texas State Marching Band Contest, which takes place in San Antonio, Texas at the Alamo Dome Monday through Wednesday of this coming week. I'm Daniel Montoya Jr. for General Effect Media. If you are new here or you don't really understand how the Texas UIL process works, it breaks down like this. Until recently, we used to have an every other year state qualifying system. If you were in odd classification, 1A, 3A, 5A, you were on 1 year. If you were the evens, 2A, 4A, and 6A, you are on the other year, and they just basically rotated year in, year out. A few years ago, we all voted to have state marching contests every year. And because we have so many bands and such a big state, we have to have 2 different weeks of state marching contests. So we still split it into odds and evens. Depending on the year, the odds will go the week before BOA San Antonio, if you will, and then the evens will go after San Antonio or the week of Grand Nationals, depending on the schedule. And then the next year, they flip. And then they flip, and then they flip. So you don't always go the week early, and you don't always go the week late. So depending on how you like it or what your schedule is like, you either like the schedule or you kind of don't like the schedule. Now, because odds are taking place this coming week, they had area marching contest last week, which is basically the second and third round to get to the fourth and potentially fifth round. And because the evens, 2A, 4A, and 6A, don't take place until next week, they just had area this past weekend. Confused? It's okay. We are going to break down just a little bit how the area results came out for 4A and 6A bands, which took place yesterday across the state of Texas. Now, if you are familiar with what the weather was like, then you know we had quite a bit of rain. Pretty much all over the state, there was some sort of weather taking place. And every area but one managed to complete their results. However, this one group decided to postpone area to take place on Monday/Tuesday because they were worried about getting rained out. However, the other areas in their city/area managed to have their results with very little to no problems. And right now, it looks like there's supposed to be rain in the forecast. So we're going to see how that area does, because there are a number of bands that will qualify for state marching contests, and some of them may qualify for state finals. So we're still waiting on those results. That's why we said we kind of have a completed field. Now, when it comes to the UIL system, we have 5 rounds: region, area prelims, area finals, state prelims, state finals. 5 different rounds, if you will. Every band should go to region band. They go there to compete for a rating, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want a 1, that's the best one. If you get a 1, you qualify to compete at area. Now, we have voted recently, or maybe it's not as recent as I remember, for every 5 bands that get a 1 at region, you then take 1 band from that area to state. 5 band gets a 1, 1 band goes to state. 10, 2, 15, 3, 14, etc. I don't know why I said 14, 24. Now, you may decide as a band not to go compete at area. And if you do, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Your 1 still counts. So 20 bands could get 1s and 15 only decide to go to area. They'll still take 4. So when we go over these area results, you'll hear how some areas take 2 bands and some take as many as 7. That's why, because there were so many more bands in that area that got 1s, that allowed 1 for every 5. Which means if we take 7, 35, or no more than 39 bands got a 1. If you get to an area where only 2 bands advance to state, up to 14 bands only got a 1. Make sense? I know we're throwing a lot of information at you, but you'll get the gist of it. We began in Area A, 4A, which took place in Amarillo, Texas. They call it West Texas. It's the Panhandle. I call this West Texas. This is the Panhandle. Now, in this particular area, they took 3 bands to state, but there was an extra 4th added due to judges' preference. We had Randall High School in first place with 1 judge putting them in first, Canyon in second place with 1 judge putting them in first, West Plains High School in third with 2 judges putting them in first, and Pecos High School in fourth with that last judge putting them in first, for a total of 4 bands advancing to state marching contest. We then go to Area B, which took place in Denton, Texas, which is north of Dallas-Fort Worth, closer to the Texas-Oklahoma border, where they took 5 bands to state marching contest. China Spring was in first place with 2 judges putting them in first. Panther Creek was second, with the remaining 3 judges putting them in first. Aubrey High School was third, Gatesville was fourth, and Robinson High School was 5th place. We move on to Area C, which took place in Lindale, Texas, which to me is probably East Texas-ish based on the bands that advanced from this area. This area took 7 bands to state marching contest, which again meant 35 bands at least, if not 39, advanced to area contest. They got 1s. Salina High School swept. All judges gave them first place. Sulphur Springs in second, Bridge City in third, North Lamar in fourth, Farmersville in fifth, Lumberton in sixth, and Pleasant Grove High School 7th place band advancing to state. UIL Area D took place in Pflugerville, Texas, which is a northern suburb of Austin, Texas. Fredericksburg, first place, swept all judges. Burnett in second, Stafford in third, Needville in fourth, Marble Falls in fifth, and LaGrange, 6th place. Area E in Corpus Christi, which is down in the Gulf, near the Gulf of Mexico. Davenport took first with 4 of the 5 judges, putting them in first. Cal Allen was in second with the remaining judge in first. Floresville was third. Valley View was fourth. And A.C. Jones High School advancing to the state marching contest. Now, I may be incorrect on this, but our resident nerd statistician, Texas expert Aaron, stated that the last time A.C. Jones High School advanced to the state marching contest was 1979, 1 year after your wonderful host was born. Now, why is that significant? Because I don't think state marching contests took place before that in the state of Texas, or at least an official mandated UIL state marching contest. So there could be no bigger gap in state appearances than 1979 to 2024. We had a 50-year difference. 50-year difference? Or am I incorrect on that? 79, 89, 99, 21 plus 24. What does that give you? 45 years, because I can't add. A 45-year difference, depending on how you put it. Congratulations to A.C. Jones. And if I'm incorrect on that, let me know in the comment section down below, Aaron. And that is the conclusion of our 4A areas in the state of Texas. Now, we jump now to 6A area marching contest, which is the largest classification of schools in the state of Texas. Now, as a reminder, in Texas, we build our classifications off of classes 10, 11, and 12. We don't count 9th graders because not every school has 9th graders. Some schools don't even have 10th graders. 10, 11, 12, you put that together, and that's how you get the size of your school, and that goes for all your sports, any UIL mandated official activity. We start at A, and I gotta warn you right now, we go all the way to J, I believe. A to J. So here we go. Area A in Odessa, Texas, which is right around here, West Texas. They were going to only take 2 bands to finals, but due to judges' preference, once again, Area A sends a 3rd band. Permian High School in first, with 3 of the 5 judges putting them in first. Friendship in second, with 2 of the judges putting them in first. And then Pebble Hills in 3rd place, judges' preference, sending them to the state marching contest. 3 bands go to state marching contests. See you in San Antonio. We go to Area B, our first area in the DFW area, which was in Bedford, Texas. It's in the Hearst, Euless, Bedford, HEB area. You might know a band, LD Bell, from the HEB area. They took 4 bands out of this area to state. Capel was in first, swept all judges. Keller in second. Timber Creek in third. And South Lake Carroll Senior High School took 4th. Those are your 4 bands advancing out of that first area in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, we would insert the Area C results here. However, Area C voted and decided to postpone marching contest that was taking place yesterday, Saturday, and put it to Monday or Tuesday of this week because they were worried about inclement weather, which is fine. However, as I just told you, one of the DFW areas held state area contests with little to no problems. In fact, there were several areas in the DFW area that managed to go off without so much as a hitch. So Area C is waiting. The word is now lightning and wind and rain are taking place. We'll see how that all goes. So as of now, we do not have results for Area C. But if we did, this is where we'd tell you. So we're going to jump to Area D, which took place in San Antonio, Texas, home of your 5-time NBA world champion San Antonio Spurs. Ronald Reagan takes first with 1 judge, putting them in first place. Cedar Ridge takes second with 2 judges, putting them in first. Round Rock takes third with 1 judge, putting them in first. Claudia Taylor takes fourth with 1 judge, putting them in fourth. And Dripping Springs High School in that 5th spot. Those 5 bands advancing to 6A Marching Band Contest. Alvin ISD, which is a suburb of Houston. It's in between Pearland-ish area, I believe, southeast Houston. They took 5 bands out of there. Pearland High School in first with 3 other judges putting them in first. Dawson in second with 1 judge putting them in first. Clearbrook in third with 1 judge putting them in first. Dickinson in fourth, and Stephen F. Austin rounds it out in 5th place. We go to Area F in Houston, Texas proper. This is the second Houston area that we're discussing. They took 5 to state, with the Woodlands in first, sweeping all judges. North Shore was second. College Park was third. Tom Ball Memorial was fourth. And Klein Oakham High School in 5th place. We move down to the Valley, McAllen, Texas, for Area G contest, where they only took 2 bands because 14 bands received 1s out of the maximum of 15. Had they all got a 1, 3 bands would have gone to state, as it were. Only Alexander, who took 3 judges in first place, was in first. Hannah High School in second with 1 judge putting them in first. They advanced. Los Fresnos did not advance, but they had the other judge put them in first place. Top 2 advanced to state marching contest. Area H, Judson, Texas, which is a northern suburb of San Antonio, Texas. They took 4 bands to state contest. Vandergrift in first with 4 of the 5 judges putting them in first. Vista Ridge was second, getting that other first place vote. Westlake High School in 3rd place. And Lake Travis High School rounding it out. Those 4 groups advancing to state marching contest. Area I marching contest, our 3rd Houston area taking place in Cy-Fair ISD, which is a northern suburb of the Houston area. Now, this was an area that, due to inclement weather, only had 1 round. And that is important to notate when I tell you what I'm about to tell you. Now, they took 4 bands to state. Cypress Woods was in first place with 2 judges putting them in first. Bridgeland was in second place with 3 judges putting them in first. Cy-Fair was third. Seven Lakes was fourth. Those were your bands advancing to state marching contest. Now, if these were the results in the final round, Bridgeland would have won because they had more judges putting them in first than Cypress Woods. But because finals were canceled and you only had prelims, and I believe the tie-breaking rules and all that stuff only pertains to prelims, or finals rather, because it didn't pertain to that, Cypress Woods remains area champion. But if they had had finals and gotten results like this, Bridgeland would have been the area champion. But they both advanced to state. It really doesn't matter. You just get to call yourself area champion if you want. That became a thing years ago. But regardless, they both go to state. Area J, McKinney, Texas. McKinney is a suburb of Dallas-Fort Worth. They held their contest on Saturday. 4 bands advanced to state, with Hebron High School taking first, with 3 of the 5 judges putting them in first. Flower Mound was second, with the other 2 judges putting them in first. Marcus High School in third, and Prosper High School in 4th place. That completes the area competitions that took place this weekend. So, as a reminder, we have 5 rounds: region, area prelims, area finals. They are all competing for the chance to compete in state prelims and state finals. It is such an arduous and long and difficult process that it is an honor to consider yourself just a state qualifier. In fact, in some areas, you're just happy to make area finals. But the goal is to get to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas for the granddaddy of them all, state marching contest. And I've said it before numerous times on podcasts, on Facebooks, on posts, on whatever. Year after year, the 6A marching contest continues to be the hardest, most deep, most competitive marching contest in the country year after year, top to bottom. I would argue if there are 40 bands that make state marching contest, top 25-ish, the deepest contest ever. And yes, I am speaking about Grand Nationals as well. Nothing against that. It's a great, great contest. I love it. Bands go up there and do incredibly well. It's great. It's a lot of fun. But I don't think some of the bands that can make Grand National Finals can make state finals in Texas in 6A. 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A, it's a different story. But in 6A, a little tough. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think I'm just a Texas homer, Texas hubris. But I'm telling you, harder to make 6A state finals in Texas than it is to make Grand National Finals. So let's talk about state. State takes place Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and because we have 3 different classifications participating, competing, prelims, and finals, they have to spread it out very differently. Now, we start with the biggest class on Monday, which is Class 5A. It takes the whole day to do 5A prelims because the first band performs at 8:30 in the morning. The last band performs at 8:15 at night. There's just no time to get everything situated, get everyone ready, and then have area finals or state finals, for Class 5A. So some of the band names you may have heard of, all right, because they are who they are. Cedar Park High School. Hey, they're going to Grand Nationals this year. Wakeland High School. Friendswood High School going to Grand Nationals. Leander High School going to Grand Nationals. Hendrickson High School has gone to Grand Nationals. Richland High School has gone to Grand Nationals. Turns the page. Rouse High School hasn't gone to Grand Nationals, but they are a regional champion. Argyle High School going to Grand Nationals. Look, we have a lot of great bands, and this is only the second largest classification. Now, here at This Weekend in Band, and now especially in This Week in Texas Band, we are going to make some predictions. We're going to make some predictions not only about who we think is going to win, but maybe the top 3, as it were, on this. Now, for our money, in alphabetical order, we think your top 3 will come down to Cedar Park High School, Rouse High School, and Wakeland High School. And it just so happens that that's the order that we predict will happen. Cedar Park will win state marching contest yet again for the insert amount of times here in a row overall. Cedar Park High School. They're good. They're good. And it doesn't mean that Rouse, doesn't mean that Wakeland, doesn't mean that Leander, anyone else isn't good either. It's just Cedar Park's just consistently on another level. I think if we're looking at 4 and 5, Leander and Lone Star. I think your top 5, Cedar Park, Rouse, Wakeland, Lone Star, Leander. Let's put it out there. That's your top 5. Let's see what happens. So, Monday was 5A prelims. 5A finals will be Tuesday afternoon, right after lunch. They're in the middle. What takes place in the morning and in the afternoon, or evening rather? Class 1A. We have 1A prelims in the morning on Tuesday. Then we go to 5A finals in the afternoon. And then after dinner, we have 1A finals. And admittedly, my knowledge of 1A competitive marching band in Texas is very limited. I've seen the bands. I see them at state in the Alamo Dome. And it's kind of volatile in how the bands compete and how they do, just for however changes happen on there. So we consulted our boy Aaron to give us his thoughts on how 1A is going to do, because this man knows a lot about band in Texas. The favorites for 1A, as we are going to say, Erie County and Menard. We think that those will be your top 2. Cross Plains, another super solid band for 1A. So Erie County and Menard, I believe those are your last 2 state champions. I could be mistaken. I could be wrong, but we believe the 1A state championship will probably once again come down to Erie County and Menard. Which takes us now to Wednesday. Wednesday, 3A prelims in the morning/afternoon, 3A finals at night. And once again, your boy is not as highly knowledgeable about 3A marching bands, but again, we turn to our boy Aaron, who has taken some time to school us. And guess what? I would have said these bands anyway. He just confirmed them. It looks like right now we have a 3-way battle. We have Mineola, we have Atlanta, and we have Redwater. However, Commerce High School, who performs first in the morning and is a finalist, beat Whitesboro, the defending champion, at Bands of America. And Aaron also says that Raymondville could be a dark horse. Bit of an unknown because they have been uncontested in Area E. They swept prelims and they swept finals. He feels that they could easily be top 5 and honestly be surprised if they didn't medal. Now, his notes, he would need to check again, but it would be the first time in 3 decades, which is 30 years, that a band not from Area B or C currently wins 3A or old 2A. We changed classifications when we added 6A, but it seems like 3A areas consistently won by a band from Area B or C. This could be the first time it doesn't happen. We will see. We will see. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy because band is just so good. It's so deep. It's so amazing. It's so awesome. If you have the means to ever come down to watch Texas UIL State Marching Contest, 1A, 3A, 5A, 2A, 4A, 6A, all of the above, I highly recommend it. It truly is the best demonstration of Texcellence that we can offer because unlike Bands of America, where you go to the Super Regional in the Alamodome Friday, Saturday, realistically only like 20 bands have a shot at making finals. The UIL system allows for representation from all over the state, right? I just went over the areas. There are, yes, bands in some areas that would beat state qualifiers in other areas, and they do it at BOAs or other contests all the time. But the UIL system ensures that there are bands, that there are representations, that there are people from all over the state, and they all come together and compete. So this is a great example of the greatness of band all over the state. It's not just from the big cities. It's not just from the big 6As. There are smaller 6As, middle, all that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. And as someone who used to do broadcasting for UIL at the state marching contest where we interview some of the kids and all that stuff, we not only have big cities in Texas, we do have lots of rural areas. We have small towns. And the look on some of these kids' faces when they walk into the dome and they just look around and see how big it is in there. Those of you who had never gone to Grand Nationals before or walked into Lucas Oil or RCA, or you go into any other dome and you're like, this is amazing, right? It's so cool to see that as a person just like, oh, this isn't normal for you, right? Like their towns shut down and they follow the bands to San Antonio. It's a big deal. They get on charter buses for the first time. They get to hang out at the Riverwalk. Like we asked the kids, what's your favorite part of coming to San Antonio? And they're like, oh, we got to eat at Hard Rock Cafe, or we got to go at the Rainforest Cafe. Like it's so awesome because it is about band, and I love band and I think it's great. But then you also get, you get the Vandergriffs, you get the Hebrons and Flower Mounds, your 300-piece marching bands, and then you get the 30-member marching bands that come out there. They maybe don't have a battery. They maybe have a few keyboards out there. They have a drum major, or they don't, and the director's conducting them, and they come out and they march their drill and they play their instruments, and it's just, it's Texcellence. It's greatness. It's excellence. For my money, if you told me I could only go to one marching band contest a year, it'd be state marching contest in Texas every year, without a doubt. Call me a homer. Call me I don't know what other word you could use, but yeah, you tell me I can't go to Grand Nationals, but I can only go to state marching contests. Does that include all the classifications? Because if so, put me down for Texas State Marching Contest. I know I'm a homer. It's okay. I love my state. I love band here. In the words of TexasBands.com, it's because band is just better in Texas. It's a lot of fun. You can check it out on streaming. I think NFHS has it. I'll put it somewhere that you can check it out. It's not an ad. We don't get any money, but check it out. It's a lot of fun, a lot of greatness. I keep coming back to Texcellence. Guess what? You can buy that shirt. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Okay, so that was This Week in Texas Band. We will try to be back on Wednesday, if not Thursday, for the next week of the Marching Band Playoff Bracket, because we need to find out the results from Tuesday of 5A finals, because some of those bands are involved in the bracket. And then we will not do a This Weekend in Band on Friday, because the Super Regional takes place Friday and Saturday, and then we have 6A on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'll be back again next Sunday for another This Week in Texas Band. And then on Wednesday, that next week, another Marching Band Playoff Bracket. And then we do our Grand Nationals preview. And then we're almost done. So that's a lot of talking, a lot of Texcellence for you. That's right, buy the shirt. I appreciate you watching and learning about Texas Band and Texas UIL. We're going to be back talking about the results. We're going to be back talking about BOA San Antonio, all that great stuff. fear not, it's not only going to be Texas. We will mention some of the other stuff that's taking place, but we're in Austin. I'm a Texas boy. Of course we're going to mention it. So check back later on next week. We'll see you at the Alamo Dome. It's going to be an amazing show. Congratulations to all the bands that made it, and congratulations to all the bands that made it to area finals, got their ones. All of it is an accomplishment in its own right. You should all be very proud. Go band, go Texas band.